Hello, everyone, and welcome to Taper Talk. Okay, I see my buddy here, the back of my chair here. So it's February 4th, Tuesday, and it's nice out, you know? I can't wait to be able to go outside again. I started this Tabor Talk YouTube channel outside on my bench there on the deck, and as you can see my earlier videos from July and August of last year, I was out there every day doing my videos. And so it's been, well, so we still have at least 2 months, right? Yesterday or 2 days ago was Groundhog Day. So getting right into this, let me just take a sip of coffee. This is Tabor Talk, informal, having a discussion about things, drinking my coffee, my cat's in the background, no editing, unscripted, people like it. Okay, so the internet. This book, I want to hold this book, and then I'll talk about it in a bit. This is Kevin Kelly's The Inevitable. He is amazing. Kevin Kelly is a futurist writer. He's editor of Wired magazine, and Tim Ferriss calls him the most interesting man on planet Earth. He's great, and he's right. So the difference between other futurists and Kevin Kelly, the difference is Kevin Kelly's always right. He's been around since the 80s, like people in the public, late 80s. Wired magazine. And this book, I think this is his most recent book. It's awesome. I'm going to talk about it in a minute. So anyway, I was actually just talking to my wife earlier. I go, you know what? I don't watch TV. I don't watch cable news. I don't get the paper. I don't read the paper. I go online. Well, let me try again. I don't watch TV. I don't watch cable news. I don't read the paper, and yet I'm up to date and informed as anybody else. And this is it. I am on the internet all the time, YouTube and Netflix. That's it. Internet, YouTube, Netflix. That's all I need. So no TV, no cable, and I don't get the physical paper. I don't get the paper. I read stuff online, but there you go. So the internet. So interesting, right? So now let me segue into Kevin Kelly, and I'm going to talk about guitar. I play guitar. Right here. Well, here you go. Here's my acoustic guitar. Pardon the mess. The acoustic, electric, and there's a classical there. All right. So, and there's my cat, Shiloh. So, all right. So let me talk about my guitars first. So I'm on the internet and I'm humming a song, and I'm humming for some reason Ozzy Osbourne's. There's a glare here. Mr. Crowley. I was into heavy metal when I was a kid, in high school, early college. Fucking totally into Ozzy and Black Sabbath and all that. And I sucked at guitar back then. And by the way, you couldn't find this stuff. I was like, oh, I'd love to play Mr. Crowley. I want to play Black Sabbath, Bloody Sabbath. The leads, I want to play note for note. I even took lessons. I'm like, I want to play Mr. Crowley, note for note. It's like, get out of here. I can't do that. Come on. You know? So anyway, fast forward to the internet, 2020, and even a few years back, this you could get this. Note for note tablature, Mr. Crowley, right? So I go on and I start playing around. Oh, let me grab my guitar, my electric. I'm not plugged in. So I go to tab and it's note for note, starting with the organ, like note for note. What is it? Something like that. Right, I just started a second ago. All right, I'll get it. It takes time. See, the thing is, there are no shortcuts about learning the song note for note. It takes many hours, but you practice, and then so you see these virtuosos, these kids. So okay, so I get the tab, and then I go on YouTube, and there's a kid note for note. He's probably like 18 years old, maybe early 20s, but young kid. Fucking note for note, the lead and everything, timing perfect, phrasing, unbelievable. He has like 500,000 views. He deserves it. So there you go. I got the tab note for note. Here's this kid, and I go, I want to do that, but can I get backtrack back in guitar? Sure enough, go on YouTube, guitar backtrack in any song you want. So I won't play it here, but do I? I might as well show it. So I got the Ozzy Osbourne, Mr. Crowley. Backtracking. Here you go. Mr. Crowley backtracking. The singing's pretty lame, but you know what I mean. And then you have backing guitar too. See, there's a guitar here for backing, so I can play my leads on this, note for note. How about that? How awesome is that? It's incredible. So the question is, who the fuck is doing all this work for free? Listen, someone had to take the time to tab that out. That takes many, many hours of painstaking, listening. Okay, is that a D? Let's see. 7th fret, 13. Listening to it, getting it right, and then putting it on paper and then throwing it up online. And then the people doing it, like the guy who does the cover, that's entertainment. So there's a lot of work. And then this guy, the guy who did the cover, he's got the graphics and Ozzy Osbourne and close-ups. Who's paying these people? You see how it works? So now my segue into Kevin Kelly. Okay, so this was the question, Kevin Kelly. Back in the early 90s, there's a story here. It goes, the internet, fuck TV, cable, all that. The future is the internet. This is in the 90s. And people are like, yeah, come on, dude. Get the fuck out of here. Remember he said he was talking to ESPN, I believe. Or was it ESPN? Not sure. One big company. But he goes, I would suggest that you buy ESPN.com. And they're like, fuck that, no. They're like, dude, listen, I'm always right. And then it was McDonald's. I'm sorry, it was McDonald's. Like, it's a good idea to get McDonald's.com. McDonald's, the hamburger. They're like, nah, I don't think that's important. See how people are crazy? So if we only had a crystal ball, it seems like Kevin Kelly does have the crystal ball. So anyway, getting right into this. So I'm talking about tabbing out music and going note for note, this content and graphics, YouTube. There are millions and millions, tens of millions of videos with pretty good quality. Lots of work. Like, who's going to do this? How are you going to get the money and resources to pay for it? This is the thing. So Kevin Kelly, he's a consultant. A lot of these big companies, and they're saying, we're planning on with TV, like cable news or something. It was like, we're going to have, can you imagine 5,000 channels? Remember the talk in the 90s? Can you imagine 5,000 channels? Holy fuck. And they go, that's a real thing. It's going to happen. And like, we're going to do this thing. And the problem was, who's going to pay for it? How are you going to get that much content? How many people are you going to hire? All this content, who's going to pay for it? And now, not only fast forward to today, not only 5,000 channels, how about 5 million channels and hundreds, tens of millions of videos, like every single day? The internet, world's information at your fingertips for free. Where does this come from? The users, the consumers, for free. There are no companies, nothing. I'm actually reading a book by Neil Ferguson on hierarchical structures and networking. This is how it works. This is 2020. It's fantastic. Content, material, all this stuff comes from the users. How about that? So I just started this. I'm going to finish this and do some more videos on Kevin Kelly, the inevitable. And it's right here, understanding 12 technological forces, as you could read that will shape our future. And that's one of them. You could play any song you want, note for note, have it tabbed out. You could have background music to it. I mean, you have to be pretty good and you have to put the time in, but you see what I'm saying? Okay, this is awesome. I love technology being alive. Yes, pros and cons, and I'll get into that too. Too much social media. By the way, I like social media, but it can be too much. I'll talk about that. That's another video. Okay, good friends, good books, and a sleepy conscience. Peace, love, and understanding here on Tabor Talk. I probably should have plugged this in for Mr. Crowley. How about that? Well, I got to work on this before I embarrass myself here. Okay.